graduate student in the health promotion management major that we have here. So let's start off with this slide. This is showing the 8 different dimensions of wellness. So whenever we see someone on the street or we think of like friends and family, you physically look at them and they look quote unquote fit or they look healthy. But as you can see, there's way more than just physical appearance to what makes someone an overall healthy, well person. You could see someone that could look perfectly fit, but if they are searching for a job, that could put stress on their occupational health, their financial health, and then also their intellectual health. So right there you have 3 out of 8 areas that are in sync with each other. And whenever one's out of sync, we consider someone, we don't consider them healthy or well, but they're not at the optimal level that they could be. I wanted to show this just, again, as like an overall wellness. For today, we're going to focus mostly on the physical. And for today's presentation, we're going to define physical wellness as recognizing the need for physical activity, diet, nutrition, and also sleep, which is definitely getting more attention lately than it possibly has been in the past. So most Americans battle with physical wellness on a daily basis. So something like the stress of the holiday season can only enhance this farther. Things like traveling, your sleep's going to be thrown off. It's already hard enough to find time to work out and eat well in everyday life. So when you're traveling, you're having these large dinners, these family events, time to work out goes down the drain pretty quick. Large dinners equal larger portions for some, and also more tempting foods that you would be eating on a regular basis. Also, rushing to get everything accomplished. That's going to interfere with your sleep. It's going to affect you by adding more stress to you, which could keep you up at night, not make you sleep as well as you could be. So again, on a daily basis, these things affect us, but the holiday stress only enhances it. I want to talk about some tips that you can actually enjoy holiday travel. Benjamin Franklin, I believe. Does anyone know that quote? Is that Benjamin Franklin? I think so. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. So plan ahead. Have a game plan. If you're traveling and you're doing the driving, have a goal time of arrival to help you stay on track. Now, this doesn't mean if you're 15 minutes or 20 minutes late that we want to add more stress to you, but when you have a goal in mind, whether it's arriving someplace on time, whether it's a workout goal, whether it's a food goal, if you have a goal in mind, it helps you stay the path and helps you get there quicker and more efficiently. You can also make a list to save yourself last minute packing mishaps, forgetting presents, not packing the right outfit, and also it saves you from packing too much, which is always my problem. Bring snacks. So when you're making this list, when you're making your game plan, bring snacks. Don't depend on gas stations and don't depend on airports to be the ones to provide your nutrition. You can bring 3 to 4 little things. If it's a 12-hour drive, if it's a 3-hour plane ride, 2 or 3 snacks are going to get you through, and you're going to be in control of your nutrition versus having to pick the best option. Also, finding the time to work out. We talked about this. With the family being around, there's more. If you're hosting the dinners, there may be more chores to do. You're cleaning the house, you're wrapping presents. Make sure that we're finding time to work out, even if that means an at-home workout. So if you have a gym here and you're traveling to San Diego for the holidays, you can do an at-home workout, 25, 30 minutes, and I guarantee you will feel so much better about the day. Some examples of an at-home workout, and you could spend a whole seminar on at-home workouts alone, but I wanted to just kind of split it into upper and lower body. So you can still do exercises at home that you typically think of with weights in the gym. So you can still do bicep curls, you can do your tricep extensions, the shoulder presses, push-ups, obviously we don't need any weight for. Boxing exercises are great ones to do while you're at home. We can do planks, rows. On the lower body side, most of these can be done, all of these can be done in a gym also, just without the machine. So we're doing lunges, squats, bridges, step-ups, adduction and abduction exercises, which are working the inner and outer thighs of our legs. And I have some tutorial examples on the next. So you can see the woman in the upper left-hand corner is doing a bent over row with a gallon of milk. The guy in the middle is doing lateral raises with milk. That's getting the examples on the very right, you can use a weight, you can use a soup can, you can use a liter of water, a pop, soda for some. Down here, we're showing just a ball, a towel, a container of laundry detergent, and the man in the corner is doing push-ups on 2 chairs to make it a little bit easier, but that would allow him to get some more repetitions out. So all of these things, you can take 20 minutes. It doesn't have to be in your house. It could be outside. It could be in you know, the guest room that you're staying at if you're staying with family. Basically, you can think of excuses why you can't work out, but you can also find reasons as to how you can. And so these are definitely some great options. Again, if you're traveling and don't have access to a gym, or don't want to pay like the $30 fee that some gyms charge for like a one-day use. So you might be thinking like, okay, I'm used to the gym, those exercises are going to be too easy. I'm not saying if you're used to curling 20-pound weights to put a soup can in your hand, but you can use anything from, like I said, a liter of soda to a gallon of milk. If you also think it's too easy, you can increase the repetition. So instead of doing 10 like you normally would in the gym with a heavier weight, do 15 with a lighter weight to compensate. You can add plyometrics, so instead of just doing lunges or just doing squats, you can add a jump to it to make it more difficult and get some cardio in there. And you can also invest in equipment. Weights can be kind of expensive, but exercise bands, you can get exercise bands for 15 bucks. They're this long, they wrap up nice and easy, they're compact, and they travel really well. And with the bands, you can do the curls and the tricep extensions, and you can do the shoulder presses and lateral raises. Everything with a weight, you can do with an exercise band. And again, that's going to take up 2 inches of space in your suitcase.
Can I interrupt there?
Yeah.
They're giving out free bands at the wellness.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, here.
Really?
And so
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's benefits for you said?
It's
Yeah.
like the next one over until 3 o'clock.
it's this one. Alright, it's just like a
That's so great.
so
And so with ones like that, even though it's like a circle, it's not with the handles, you can still put that in between, even though it's a circle, put it in between your feet and still do, you know, your curls that way. Still do the presses above the head, still come out to the side. So there still are tons of things you can do, even though it's not the typical band that you would think of in a gym. I'm gonna have the
hand up.
yes, if you want to hold on, yeah. So that is knocking off the I don't have time to work out or I don't have space to work out excuse. Now we're going to go into food, which is probably the biggest part of when you think about maintaining your weight for the holiday. That's probably kind of the biggest barrier that is in front of people. Because it's very social and it's very family oriented, and especially now in our culture, we associate food with social interactions and family interactions, which isn't a bad thing. We just have to be mindful of what we're eating and how much of it. So it's not that we can't enjoy these dinners, it's just that we need to be cognizant of what is on the table and what we're putting in our mouth. Along with that, the biggest question, how do I eat healthy on the holidays? So I know there's a lot of information on this slide. We're going to go through kind of one by one. So again, I talked about goals, having a goal of like something simple, like having a goal of arrival time. Helps you stay on path. Make realistic goals for the holiday. Don't think that if you've been trying to lose 10 pounds for the past 3 months, this is the optimum time to do it, because it's not. You already have enough stress, again, with the holidays and with, you're going to be not fighting an uphill battle, but you're already going against more barriers than you would be in everyday life. Now's not the time to attempt weight loss. Weight maintenance, healthy eating, working out, yes, but I wouldn't put a goal of losing weight in between the holiday season. Do not arrive hungry to events, so that might be you hosting dinner, that might be you going to a family member's house for dinner. Whatever it is, don't sit down at the dinner table hungry with your stomach growling. Don't skip breakfast, don't skip lunch, and don't save room for the big dinner. Still eat like you know, eat mindfully, eat healthily during the day, so that you don't feel like you have all these extra calories that you can use at dinner. This is my favorite. Conversation is calorie free. So if you are conversating, if it's a buffet style, don't stand by the buffet while you're eating. or while you're talking, because all you're gonna do is your hand's gonna go from food to mouth, from food to mouth. If you're done eating, leave the table, go into the living room, you know, watch TV with all the guys who are watching the football game. Conversate there. Don't leave the food and sit around the table and conversate. Or if you're going to, clear the table and then come back to it. But don't have food in front of you. Don't have food in front of you while you're trying to conversate. Scope out the food before you make your plate. So if this, again, is buffet style, don't grab a plate, go in line, and the first time you're seeing the food is when you're going through, because you're gonna wanna taste that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and your plate's gonna go from here to here to here to here to here. So prioritize, you know, what you want. Don't put ham on your plate if five things down, there's turkey, which is what you really wanted, because now you have extra calories on your plate that you necessarily weren't accounting for. Balance what you eat at parties with your daily eating. So again, that goes back to not skipping breakfast, not skipping lunch. Don't save those calories for dinner. Just eat mindfully while you are there. Do not drink your calories. This is huge. Obviously, we're gonna have some wine, some eggnog, chocolatey beverages. Those have calories that you wouldn't even think of. Think about like those healthy smoothies. You're getting a small, and they're packing in like sometimes 600 to 800 calories. And I'm not saying we're having smoothies at dinner, but they're just things that you wouldn't even think of. You would think of them as being healthy. If you're going to, it's not that you can't have these, but if you're going to have these, plan them as part of your dinner. Don't think of them as, oh, I'm just gonna have water, I'm just gonna have a drink. Those calories should be counted in the whole plate. And along with plates, using smaller portions. So use smaller plates so that you can fit more on if you're using smaller portions with the food that you're putting on your plate. Also take small tastes of the high calorie dishes. So it's not that you can't have stuffing. It's not, you know, that you can't have a little bit of the cranberry sauce. It's that you don't need to have a full serving of it to kind of get the taste and still experience it. You guys can look obviously on here, but it also might be easy to look in the handout at the next slide, which is going to be, we might switch the handout soon if this dies, but it's going to be portion control. So this I thought was just a really cool, interesting slide of how the plate size, not even portion size, how the plate size has changed from the 1960s to 2009, which was not that long ago. So I'm sure that this is still the standard size of a plate that we're using. These were paper plates as an example, but that doesn't mean that the at home, the actual glass plates haven't, you know, also increased. Here, in 1960, dinner plate was about 9 inches, holding 800 calories. So a decent, 800 calories is a decent sized dinner. 20 years later, 1980, it's moved up an inch, and we have an increase of 20% calories, and is now holding 1,000. 2000s, 20 more years later, 1,600 calories, which is 35% increase from the previous 1980. Now, for 2009, dinner plate is 12 inches, holds 19 calories, which yes, is 15% bigger than this, but it is 50% bigger than in 1960. This is also the same thing when you think about, and I didn't put this slide up, but when you think about going out to dinner versus eating at home. Going out to dinner, huge. Eating at home, smaller. The portions in Europe and other countries, even smaller than that. So this might be considered standard for America. This is not considered standard for all areas of the world. Taking this a step farther into just how big the plate size has increased. This is the same portion going through the plate size that we just showed. So this is the 800 calories on a plate in 1960. This is 800 calories now. This plate looks full. If someone put this down in front of you, you would think you had a full dinner. Just visually, if someone put this down in front of you, you would expect something else. You'd be wondering why the plate wasn't filled. So that's just showing why when we say portion control, it's so important to kind of know in your head, and there's a slide later about a piece of meat being the palm of your hand, or cheese being 4 dice. Because if you're just going by, again, filling up your plate, that's a lot different now than it used to be, and than it should be. one more with portion control. This is one more step farther, and this is quote unquote filling up the plate. So this one, 253 calories, full plate. This one now holds more, so up to 660 calories. So it's things like, it's little things that you don't even think of, picking up a plate, and you don't realize how much that has changed and how the distortion visually affects the portion that you're putting on your plate. So this is, again, in the handout, I won't go through each one, but it's obviously showing what, again, a palm, they consider, you know, a quote unquote serving would be like the palm of your hand. So if that's meat, it's 160 calories, fish, 160, chicken, 160, and that's 3 ounces. So this is just showing little things that you can use with literally your 2 hands to gauge what a serving is. Because we all know that if we went to dinner at a restaurant, you're not getting a fist of pasta. And this is kind of a little bit like more modern day, I guess you'd say. Steak is the size of an iPod. Cheese could be a matchbox. Pancakes shouldn't be the whole plate, especially the plate size now. It should be the size of a DVD. So this, you know, butter should be the size of a postage stamp. This is kind of little things to put it in everyday terms. These are just examples of foods that are popular during the holiday season and options that you can choose more of and less of to get the same taste, but less calories. So choosing like a turkey breast over a prime rib and gravy, choosing waters over the eggnogs, plain potatoes versus stuffing and the candy yams. And I thought this was really cool too. So this is like a quote unquote traditional meal. This is, you're having your meats, your turkeys, ducks over there, you're having your potatoes, your vegetables, but it's how quickly the calories add up and literally double. So here in the low calorie dinner, you're still having your 2 meats, you're still having your carbs with the rice, the baked potato, even margarine, and the bread, and then we obviously have vegetables for a total of 700 calories. Over on the other side, you're having your 2 meats. It's duck, turkey with the skin. Your carbs are stuffing, mashed potatoes with gravy, and cornbread, and candied yams are your vegetables, and you've literally doubled your calorie intake. So I guess the point here is we're not saying that, you know, you have to have only salads and raw vegetables when you sit down to have these family dinners and these celebration dinners, but you can still get what you would think of as a traditional meal, and these are the same serving. So it's 1 piece of French bread, 1 piece of cornbread. It's not like you're having, you know, double the cornbread. It's literally just, it's not the serving size that's changing, it's just the food choices that are changing. So these are just a few examples. Obviously, they're modifying for holiday recipes because you find a lot of these in holiday recipes. But this is for every day, using things like applesauce instead of oil. It adds flavor, definitely adds moisture, and also tenderness to baked goods. Using 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder plus margarine instead of just the unsweetened like baking chocolate blocks. Dairy, simple things like replacing whole fat with fat-free. It's still dairy, but you're cutting your calories and your fat intake. Light or diet margarine is good to replace with regular butter margarine, but be careful because it does have a higher water content, which changes the texture and can make it kind of crumbly almost. So my advice is to experiment first with those. Don't try, you know, cooking for 20 people and having it the first time that you've tried a dish using something with a light or diet margarine. And also eggs. Instead of using whole eggs, just substitute egg whites or an egg substitute. So for every 1 egg, it equals 2 egg whites or a 4th cup of an egg substitute. Rest. Oh, another puppy. So I know everyone's gonna feel like this after our Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners, but it is important because sleep patterns may be thrown off, again, like we said earlier, with travel and additional chores. It is important to still get, try to get the optimal 8 hours that, or whatever, not even 8 hours, the optimal sleep that you personally need. But if that is going to be infringed upon, try to find 15 to 20 minutes throughout the day If you're a person who likes to meditate, take 15 minutes to do that. It might even be lying down with your eyes closed. Like no one's saying that you have to like go to bed, curl up in the covers and take a nap, which I'm sure sounds amazing. Just relaxing, just like sitting, closing your eyes and like letting your body relax and letting your body kind of de-stress, and just taking a little bit of time for you. And then again, 20 minutes. We're not talking about like an hour nap or like not having anything going on. We're talking about 20 minutes to just literally take your feet up. Some examples, I'll go through this again, it's in your hand up, but I'll go through pretty briefly. Meditation breathing, so you're sitting, this is like yoga style, you're sitting with your legs not crossed Indian style, but kind of crossed so that both arms go in front of you. One hand's on your chest, one hand's on your, like your diaphragm, and it just makes you very aware of your breathing. So you're, again, you're inhaling through your nose, and you're exhaling through your mouth. The hand on the stomach should move as you inhale, and the one on the chest should move very little. So you're getting really, it's making you very cognizant of deep breathing versus just this chest breathing that's going to be more shallow and come quicker and elevate your heart rate, which is going to make you feel not necessarily stressed, but it's going to kind of make you a little bit on edge, make you feel a little bit hyper because you're not getting those deep, full breaths. Another example would be of, again, we're just talking about the 15 to 20 minutes relaxation, progressive muscle relaxation. So it's when you're laying there, shoes off, comfortable clothing, and you're literally just thinking of a body area, squeezing it for 10 seconds, and then releasing it. And you're just being very cognizant of how that feels when you're releasing, letting it kind of melt into the ground, and you're moving to another area of the body. So the next slide, I have the most popular sequence. So starting with the feet, most start with the feet and then move up to the head. So right foot if you're right-handed, if you're left-handed, you may want to switch to the left foot. And you're literally just going from feet to calf, to hips, to butt, to the chest, back, arm and hand, neck, and then finally the face. And you're just slowly, again, 10 seconds, like this does not take long. It's just making you aware of your body. It's taking you internal instead of all the things that are going on externally and giving you a chance to relax. And this, honestly, if you can't fall asleep at night and you're laying in your bed, I shouldn't say this as a disclaimer, I'm not like a huge yoga person. I do it, but I'm not like the meditation type. I kind of do it for like the flexibility. And so I don't really get into meditation. This works. I was like, this isn't whatever, I'm just gonna like squeeze my muscles, relax. I don't even get to like my chest before I'm like done out, falling asleep. So it's also a nice little trick, not only for 15 or 20 minute relaxation stations, but if you need a little boost to help you get to sleep. Because again, it takes you internal and makes you very aware of what's going on in you versus everything that's going on around you. So in summary, mindful eating does not have to mean an unavoidable dinner. We showed examples, you're still eating your turkey, you're still eating your ham, you're still eating your potatoes. It's just that we're making healthy modifications and we're being aware of everything on our plate with portion size and also food choice. Focus on this time of the year and what it means to you. So although it's a stressful time, you don't have to let the stress get to you. You can enjoy the family, enjoy the friends. Don't look at it as though, oh my gosh, I'm cooking for 20 people. Look at it as though like you get to spend time with 20 people of your closest friends and family. And make time to take care of you. So make sure you're getting rest and the workouts, even if they're 20 minutes at home. You might be used to hour-long workouts. You might be used to 5-mile runs. Even 20-minute spurts of exercise are going to be beneficial, especially at this time of the year.